try this next practice problem on your own. I know that these problems are a little bit long, but we need to practice in order to make sure we know what we're doing. So pause the video, try the problem, and then replay it to check your answer. I am going to work out the final answer. First, we want to set up a triangle that looks like this. We know that one of the legs is 3 inches longer than the other leg. So that's where we get our x plus 3 and x, and the hypotenuse is 15. So now we're going to use c squared equals a squared plus b squared to help us solve for the lengths of our triangle. So I'm going to plug a 15 in for c, a x plus 3 in parentheses in for a, and an x in for b. So we still need to make sure that we write x plus 3 twice and then FOIL. So we're going to get 225 equals x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9 plus x squared. So 225 equals 2x squared plus 6x plus 9. And we want to subtract this 225 over to the other side. So we get 2x squared plus 6x minus 216 equals 0. Again, you may notice that we can divide all of these numbers by 2 to help us make the problem a little bit easier. So after we divide everybody by 2, we get x squared minus 3x. And let's see, is that plus 108 or minus 108? Equals 0. Okay, now we need to do the big X and find two numbers that when we add them together we get -3, and when we multiply them together we get -108. So let's see, what goes into 108? I think 12 might. Maybe 12 and 9. So a -12 and a +9. Let's see. I don't have a calculator with me at the moment, so let's check and make sure that this really equals 108. Oh, good, it does. Okay, so we get x minus 12 and x plus 9 equals 0. So we get two answers. X equals 12 and x equals -9. And we know that -9 is extraneous because we're not allowed to have a negative side of the triangle. So the x value that we want to work with is x equals 12. So now, scrolling back over to our triangle, we still need to find the lengths of the legs. So if we know that x equals 12, we know that one leg equals 12. And we get b equals 15. Uh-oh. We must have made a mistake somewhere because b can't equal 15 and the hypotenuse can't equal 15 because the hypotenuse has to be the longest side. So we need to look backwards and see where the mistake occurred. Oh, I think I just see it. This 3x up here should have been positive because of that positive 6x. So that is going to change a few things. This will be a +3 in the big X. So a +12 and a -9, positive, negative. So this would be x equals negative 12, and this would be a positive 9. So this would be the extraneous answer, and x equals 9 would be the right answer. So that's a good way that you can check your work, is if you end up making a mistake like that, you say, oh shoot, I have to go back and see what might have happened. Okay, so now this means that instead of my leg equaling 12, A equals 9, and B will equal 9 plus 3, which is 12. And those are our final answers. Let's take a look at this next word problem. We have a rectangular pool is 30 feet wide and 60 feet long. So let's draw a pool that is 30 feet wide and 60 feet long. So 30 and 60. You swim diagonally across the pool. All right, so let's make our little person swim from the corner diagonally across the pool. To the nearest foot, how far did you swim? So if you notice, when we swam diagonally across the pool, it's like we turned this pool into two triangles. Here's one triangle, and we have the blue triangle. So if you notice that this triangle is a right triangle because we have a 90-degree angle right here. So we know that one leg of our triangle is 30. Do you know the length of the other leg? If you said 60, that's right, because this is a rectangle, so if this side is 60, then this side has to be 60. Okay, and we want to find how far we swam diagonally. So what part of the triangle are we really looking for? If you said C, then you are correct. We are looking for the hypotenuse. So we're going to use our formula, c squared equals a squared plus b squared, to help us find it. So c squared equals 30 squared plus 60 squared. So c squared is going to equal 900 plus 3600. A really easy way to square big numbers like this is you square the 3 and then you attach 2 zeros. So 3 squared is 9 and then 2 zeros. And then with 60, 6 squared is 36 and then you add 2 zeros to that. So now c squared is going to equal 3600 plus 900, which would be 4500. Okay, now we need to take the square root to get c by itself. So we have to take the square root of 4500. So since it says to the nearest foot, we can use our calculator and round. So in my calculator, I got c equals 67.1 feet. After rounding to the, we were rounding to the nearest foot, so we can just leave it as 67. We don't need the decimal. So about 67 feet. Okay, so for the next problem, pause the video and try it on your own, and then restart the video to check your answer. So hopefully we started out by drawing a field similar to this, and you are standing at one corner and you're throwing a frisbee to your other friend diagonally across the field. So again, we're solving for the hypotenuse of a triangle. So we are going to use c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c squared equals 20 squared plus 18 squared, which is 400 plus, let's see what 18 squared is in our calculators. I got 324. And let's add those together to get 724. And then we need to take the square root. Whoa. Pen going crazy. So C equals, using my calculator here to get the answer, I got 26.9, so let's round it to 27 feet. 27 feet. Okay, moving on to the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So we're using the Pythagorean theorem in this case to tell whether or not a triangle is a right triangle. If a triangle has side lengths a, b, and c such that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then the triangle is a right triangle. So in the next video, we are going to be using this theorem to help us determine whether or not some triangles are right or not.